Welcome back, Chandelites. I think today might be my favorite in the series. We're going to talk about the Black Panther Party, power to the people. The Black Panther Party was a Black power organization founded by college students Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton in October 1966 in Oakland, California. The party was active in the United States between 1966 and 1982 with chapters in many major American cities including Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, New York, and Philadelphia. They were also active in many prisons and had international chapters in the United Kingdom and Algeria. At its inception, the Black Panther Party membership consisted largely of Black people who were part of the Second Great Migration and traveled north and west to escape the Southern racial regime, only to be confronted with new forms of segregation and repression. In the early 1960s, the Civil Rights Movement dismantled the Jim Crow system of racial subordination in the South. However, not much changed in cities in the North and West. The Black population drawn by wartime job opportunities were concentrated in poor urban ghettos with high unemployment, substandard living conditions, and were mostly excluded from political representation, top universities, and the middle class. Northern and Western police departments were almost all white, and inevitably this led to the over-policing of Black communities. By 1966, a Black power ferment had emerged consisting largely of young Black people, posing a question that the Civil Rights Movement could not answer. How would Black people in America win not only full citizenship rights, but also economic and political power? This gave birth to the Black Panther Party with an initial core practice of open carry patrols designed to challenge the excessive force and misconduct by the Oakland Police Department. By January 1967, the Black Panther Party opened its first official headquarters in an Oakland storefront and published the first issue of the Black Panther Black Community News Service. And at its height, the newspaper sold 100,000 copies a week. The Black Panther Party's focus on militancy was often construed as open hostility, even though early efforts by the Black Panthers were focused primarily on promoting social issues, advocating for class struggle, and exercising their constitutional right to bear arms. In 1967, the Mulford Act, which would make the open carry of loaded firearms illegal, was passed by California legislature. The bill repealed a law that allowed the public carrying of loaded firearms and was crafted in response to the Black Panther Party. In August of 1967, the Federal Bureau of Investigation launched an illegal program designed to neutralize Black nationalist groups and other dissident groups. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover described the Black Panther Party as the greatest threat to the internal security of the country. By 1969, the Black Panthers and their allies had become primary targets of an illegal counterintelligence program of sabotage, surveillance, infiltration, perjury, and police harassment, all designed to undermine and criminalize the party. The goal of the program was to prevent the unification of Black groups and to weaken their leadership, as well as discredit them and reduce their support and growth. The agency also targeted their community and social programs, including its Free Breakfast for Children program, whose success had shed a light on the government's failure to address child poverty and hunger. Police and federal agents regularly harassed and intimidated program participants, supporters, and party workers, and sought to scare away donors and organizations that housed these programs like churches and community centers. Other targets included the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, as well as leaders including Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Party membership peaked in the 1970s and gradually declined over the next decade due to vilification by mainstream media and infighting largely fermented by the illegal program of the FBI. Most notably, the Panthers were called to serve the people and to make survival programs a priority within its branches. They developed a revolutionary nationalist approach to community service called Community Survival Programs, including the Free Breakfast for Children program, which served as a vehicle to educate the youth and feed children who would have otherwise went hungry. Other notable programs included free clothing distribution services. They opened up schools teaching classes on politics, economics, and literature, lessons on self-defense and first aid, an emergency response ambulance program, drug and alcohol rehabilitation, and testing for sickle cell disease through free medical clinics that modeled an idea of how the world might work with free medical care. These clinics were eventually established in 13 places across the country. Amid turmoil and shifting ideology, the party's goals is outlined in the 10-point program called for equality, housing fit for human beings, education, justice, and peace. And instead, they were met with resistance and illegal tactics by their own government with no atonement. Some of our brightest minds were stolen, including Fred Hampton and Bobby Hutton. And as punishment, the government flooded Black communities with drugs, took away jobs, all to imprison our men, disrupt the family structure, and dismantle the Black community through addiction. This was 1 generation ago. My heart cries for the pain and the ramifications of those actions that we still feel today. But to be Black is beautiful. Black is resilience. To be Black is everything. Our hair grows toward the heavens. What more could you want? Thank you to our giants, leaders of the Black Panther Party, and the legacy of community service, love, and collaboration.